up? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. It is February 10th. Um, and with this video, we're going to talk about some tips for part-time traders because maybe you guys can hear it in my voice. I am sick. Okay. Was running a fever for the better part of the day, and I decided to not trade today because my head wasn't going to be in it. I wasn't going to be focused because I was sick. And that prompted me to make this video and give you guys some helpful tips about being a part-time trader, because we have a lot of members in True Trading Group that are part-time. Okay, we have a lot of full-time traders. We have a few traders that have actually in the last year or so have quit their full-time jobs and now trade for a living. That's the goal that everybody kind of strives for and wants to get to. But there's a long road that and there's a long journey that comes between reaching that goal and when you first start your trading journey. And the majority of traders that are out there trade full time. Excuse me, trade part time, meaning they have other jobs that they are working or they have other responsibilities during the day that take up a lot of their attention and focus. So, being that today I made the decision to not trade because I was feeling so crappy in the morning that um, it prompted me to make this video and to just discuss a couple of bullet points and a couple of tips that are specifically for those people that are part-time traders that I think would help you in your journey and help you guys achieve and reach a lot of your goals. Before I get into the part-time trading tips, I want to remind you all that tomorrow is TG Tuesday. Hopefully, I do feel better. I am feeling a little bit better now. I've been resting all day, taking a lot of medicine, um, taking a lot of healthy stuff like apple cider vinegar, turmeric, ginger. Been taking a lot of the juice drinks, tea, chicken soup. I mean, you name it. I've been doing it. Oregano oil, echinacea, vitamin C. I mean, I've been doing it all. So I do feel a little bit better right now. So I think tomorrow I'll be good to go. So tomorrow is TG Tuesday. The chat room's open free. If you guys want to come and chat and trade with me live, see my screen, hear me on the microphone. Oh, I have to sneeze. Sorry. So if you guys want to come and chat and trade with me, just go to truetradinggroup.com, upper right-hand corner, click on TG Tuesday. Fill out that form. It'll give you an access link that'll give you entry into our chat room for the whole day. Opens up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, closes down at around 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. So if you guys want to come and chat and trade with me live, come in, say what's up. It's totally free. All right. Now, let's talk about the markets a little bit. Very, very, very strong day for the overall markets today. Um, Comments about the real economic impact of the coronavirus. There were some comments out from Goldman Sachs saying that the economic impact from the coronavirus is going to be minimal. At the same time, the UK says that there is an imminent outbreak in the UK. So, but those comments from Goldman Sachs relieved a lot of the coronavirus fears, which have since subsided over the last week. We've had a real nice, strong recovery in the overall markets from last Friday. Okay, real nice, strong recovery and all-time highs here today. Okay, so as the coronavirus fears subside, all-time highs on the SPY. So just a very, very strong day. I did not expect this type of a day today in the markets. We were gapping down. I expected kind of actually a little bit of a drift lower type day where it was very low volatility, but we just kind of slowly drifted lower. But right out of the gates, we went red to green and then never looked back, and all-time highs right into the closing bell, thanks to those comments from Goldman Sachs. So let's get into now some of the little tips that I want to go over for part-time traders. Um, First and foremost, guys, directly related to the decision that I made today to not trade. If you cannot focus 100%, I don't want you guys to try and make trades during the day. I don't want you to try and day trade either. Okay. Um, when you are trading, your hard earned money is at risk. So you need to make sure that you can give it 100% of your attention. Now, I have the ability to focus on trades and the markets and everything full time during the day, but today, being that I was sick, I decided not to. So if you guys are sick, okay, it's probably best that you do not trade if you can. You're not trading with 100% focus and a clear head. If you have other responsibilities during the day, maybe you have a meeting at work that you're going to be going into at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's an important meeting and you can't miss it, then it's probably best for you to not trade that morning so that you're not in any positions while you step away to go into that meeting. Maybe you have a newborn at home and the baby is crying and they're real fussy in the morning. Maybe that's a day that, you want to maybe take off from trading. Maybe, um, you are in the middle of a big argument with your spouse or significant other that's affecting your mindset. That's maybe a day that you might want to say, you know what, I'm not going to trade today because my mind's not fully in it. Maybe a close friend or family member is severely ill that has your mind kind of in different places where you're not able to focus on trading during the day. Now, these are topics that nobody wants to talk about. This nobody wants to talk about being sick or fighting with your spouse or having a family or friend that's severely ill. But this is part of life, okay? And as traders, we have personal things that go on in our lives that affect our mental state. And I've recently come out with the part 2 of the trader psychology course. So, these are all things that are important to discuss, and little helpful tips that I want to remind you of, that as a part-time trader and even as a full-time trader, you don't have to trade every single day. You don't have to trade every single day. There's things that go on in our personal lives that will actually hinder you and put you at a disadvantage during the day because your mind's not going to be in it. If you're dealing with any of these things that I'm talking about, that's going to take part of your focus and your attention during the day. And if you're not 100% focused on the markets and the trades that you're making, you're doing yourself a massive disjustice or injustice by not giving your money 100% of the focus that it needs and that it deserves. So if you find yourself dealing with any of these things in your personal life, I want you to be able to have the self awareness to say, you know what, my head's really not in it. I'm not going to be able to be 100% focused today. It's probably best that I don't trade. All right. So that's kind of the first tip that I want to go over with you guys for those of you that are part time traders. But that's a tip that also goes to full time traders as well, because even if you're trading full time, you still have these things in your personal life that could affect your mental state, could affect your psyche, and could affect your focus. And if there's other things that have your attention during the day, then it's best that you ease on the side of caution and maybe take the day off. Okay. That's first. Now, second thing is, if you are a part-time trader, you absolutely must use physical hard stop losses. Okay. You cannot use mental stop losses. I use mental stop losses. I do not actually set physical stop losses unless I'm walking away from my trade station, or sometimes maybe if I'm in, multiple positions all at the same time. And, I really can't, I don't want to focus really on one of them. Maybe sometimes I'll set a hard stop, but very, very rarely does that happen. I use mental stops, but if you are not able to be in front of your computer and manage your positions, I want you, um, I want you to, I want you guys to be able to set physical hard stops so that if you get up from your computer or you go into a meeting, or you're doing something else during the day, that you're not leaving yourself open to a trade completely falling apart. Now imagine if you're in a stock and you're like, oh, I don't need to set a physical stop. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go pick up the kids from practice, or I'm going to go do pick up dry cleaning. I'll just, the stock, the trade looks good, I'm just going to leave it. And while you step away from your desk, a press release comes out, something negative about the company, or maybe there's something happens in the geopolitical or global macro environment that sends the overall market tanking. Oh, sorry about that. That sends the overall market tanking. Okay. You don't want to have yourself get caught in a trade like that that can really, really do some serious damage. So if you ever are not focusing on your positions, make sure that you are absolutely using hard physical stop loss orders. Speaking of stop loss orders, I will also want you guys to maybe try to think about using trailing stops. I don't really use trailing stops. Like I said, I'm managing my positions myself in real time. But if you are in a trade that is looking good, and you know that you have another responsibility, or you have to step away from your trade station, or you have to, you're going to be tied up with something else, but you don't want to sell the stock because you think it's going high, you think it still looks good, set trailing stops. Trailing stops are stop losses that move up as the price of the stock moves up, either in a dollar incremental figure or in a percentage increment that you set. So if you want to set a trailing stop on the share price, whatever the share price is, minus whatever percentage or minus a dollar, whatever it is, your stop loss will move higher with the price of the stock, but it won't move lower. So as the stock moves up, your stop loss moves up. As the stock moves down, your stop loss stays in place. And if it pulls back deep enough, it'll trigger your stop loss and exit your position. So that's a really good way if you're in a position and you have to walk away from your trade station, that you can set a trailing stop so that if the stock does actually continue higher, you can stay in it. But if the stock then pulls back in sharply, you can exit that position and protect your profits and lock in your profits. All right. Another thing that I would say for part-time traders is, spend some time and try to learn how to swing trade also. Um, a lot of part-time traders that maybe only trade once or twice a week, a lot of them do like swing trading. Um, I think it's important to have a general understanding of day trading first. That will provide you with better entry and exit opportunities, will provide you with some better technical analysis, and identifying and understanding momentum. But I think swing trading is also a really good concept that I think part-time traders should have. A lot of our part-time traders in True Trading Group, traders that can't trade every day, a lot of them have started to focus on swing trading and have been having a lot of success with it. So I think that's another little tip that I think part-time traders should think about, is really being able and getting yourself comfortable with swing trading. Now, swing trading will carry some extra risk because you're going to be susceptible to gap ups or gap downs. You're going to be susceptible to news releases. Companies typically put out news either after market or before market. Rarely do they put out news during the day. So you're going to be open to that that liability and that risk in swing trading. So you have to understand that going into it. But I think it's good for part-time traders to have a general comfort and understanding of swing trading. Um, then also, just kind of touching back on what we talked about earlier, guys, is that I don't feel like you need to trade every single day. Okay, like I still am sick. My temperature has gone down now, but I was running a fever all morning. I was running a fever last night. It's gone down a little bit now, but I'm sure by nighttime it'll probably go back up because it's always worse at night and in the morning. Um, but don't feel like you need to trade every single day. Okay, don't worry. The market will be open tomorrow. It doesn't matter if the market's up 1,000 points, down 1,000 points. Doesn't matter if there's some small cap that's up 1,000%. It doesn't matter. Don't feel like you have to trade today. There's always going to be more opportunities. The stock market's not going anywhere. It'll always be open tomorrow. It's one of the beauties about being a trader. Um, and then lastly, I will say your goals as a part-time trader, guys, is I want you to be realistic with your expectations and your goals. And I want you to just have your goal of, when it comes to income, right? Everybody, part-time traders sometimes get ahead of themselves and they try to double their income that they make at their regular job. You have to just come into part-time trading looking to just supplement your income. Okay, just some extra spending money, or some extra money that you can just put away and save, or that you can invest, or maybe it pays for the family vacation, or something like that. Don't come into part-time trading looking to double your regular routine income. I want you to come into it looking to just supplement it. Make a little bit of extra money on the side. Think of it as a part-time job, because that's essentially what it is. Think about, you're bartending 2 nights a week or something like that. You're just looking to make some extra cash, to put in your pocket, to do whatever you want with it. That is where your goals. That's where. Sorry, guys, my screen my screen saver keeps going off. That is where your goals and your mindset should be when you're talking about part-time trading. And then once you get some level of consistency with supplementing your income, you can work on trying to go bigger and trying to earn more and trying to double your income. And then once you get past that, then you talk about when are you ready to actually when are you actually ready to quit your job and trade full time. But that's a totally different video for a totally different time that will I can talk to you guys for hours about when to know it's time to make that decision, and some criteria that I think you should meet before you decide to quit your job and trade full time. There's actually an entire lesson on that in the trader psychology course that I made that just specifically talks about when to trade full time, when to quit your job and then trade full time. It's the biggest mental hurdle that any trader will ever go through in their journey is actually going from um, part time to full time. It's the biggest mental. You could be trading part time for 5 years, super successful, consistent. As soon as you go full time, you could struggle, and it's because it's the biggest mental hurdle that you will have to overcome as a trader. So that's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother time. So we're going to keep this video just to tips for part time traders, and here's just a few of them. I hope this helps. I hope you guys get some value out of these tips. Implement them. Think about it. I know a lot. I have a lot of followers on the YouTube channel that are part-time traders. So for that, I'm speaking directly to you guys with this video. Okay. Remember, tomorrow's Teach You Tuesday. Go to TrueTradingGroup.com, click on Teach You Tuesday, register. You'll get a link that'll give you access to the chat room for free. Come and chat, say what's up. I should be feeling better by tomorrow, and we'll be back at it, looking to pull out some money and identify some good opportunities in this market. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of these videos that I put out on the daily. See you guys later.